Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon, here on Stoneblock 3. So last episode we went and explored some dungeons and got some power going, and since then I have just been slowly mining out towards the nether. Except, as you can see, we're kind of waylaid here. We started running into ores, which we haven't gotten to before. And we found this very nice cave, which has some very pretty stone in it. If we walk right over here, you should see this blue stuff behind me. I've never seen this before, so it's got to be something modded. So let's see, what are you? Azurine. Interesting. What can we use you for? Ooh, that's very pretty. I like how that looks. Could also crush into zinc, but nope. Can we get you anywhere? No. So we can only mine this stuff up. Oh, this might be very useful. Plus we get some calcite here as well. I don't think we can get calcite any other way. Oh no, we can craft calcite actually, apparently. Calcite part. Ooh, that would be pretty. Anyway, we're getting distracted here. But we have this azurine. I was checking on the map here and it looks like we got some other ones as well. It looks like we got some crimsite up here. Some ochrum. And what's this one? Viridium. So we may have to go after those. There's definitely a lot of geodes over here as well. Like some limestone buried in here as well. And it definitely looks like there's several spawner dungeons as well. So we may have to explore that a little bit. But wow, this is a really big nest of caves here. Anyway, we're going to have to explore this at some point just to get those new stones. Because, well, if they're anything like this one, they're going to be really nice. And I'm definitely going to want to use them for decoration. So let's actually check that. Grim site. Okay, not too bad. These all appear to be bits from Create. So it looks like this is the Viridium, which is this nice teal green. Got a nice brown there. Got some limestone, crimsite, and the azurine. Looks like we can do stuff with tuff as well. Ooh, that's going to be very nice. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to get back to base because I would like to be able to just collect up those ores instead of having to mine them out. What's that? Cinnabar. Ooh, very nice. And that'll definitely help get us a few more things. But we need to head on back. So I'm going to run down this 700 block tunnel and I'll meet you back at base. Alright, and here we are back at base. I've done a little bit of work since then and I've gotten a bunch more machines here. We still have a few more to go. And I decided to start looking into what we needed for our ore laser base and our drill. And it's going to take a lot. We need all of this just to be able to make this advanced machine frame. And that's not even counting the pink slime that we need here, which we need to get the mob slaughter factory, which is not going to be that hard, actually. But since we're going to be going into this and we're going to need some charged Certus crystals and Fluix crystals, I think it's about time that we test if the machine I think is going to work for these is actually going to work. If we do that, nope, that is not facing the right way. Let's try this again. Theory. Okay, that needs power. That's not going to be too hard to do, but I'm hoping that in theory we can get this to automatically break these crystals. That way we can get automatic quartz and everything else. Now, let's just get a couple of those and get to work on our charging. So the massive crafting tree that we need to go through is we need to get this advanced machine frame, which, ignoring the pink slime, which actually will be very easy, we need to get netherite scrap, which means we need to get ancient debris, which means we need to make this combiner, which is, okay, that's going to take a mess in and of itself. We're going to ignore that step for now. But that means we need basalt, which means we need to use the igneous extruder that we already have, which means we need soil, which should be really easy, and blue ice, which needs packed ice, which needs regular ice, which we would need the blast chiller for. There's only one problem. The blast chiller calls for packed ice, so we're going to have to get our ice another way, which is where this entropy manipulator comes in. So the only issue is to get that, we need all of these, including all of these presses, That might be an issue. So we basically need these deployers in order to work. And hopefully we can do this without having to move anything. I have no idea. But that means we're going to need those. And we need inscriber presses. So I think our first two orders of business are getting our Certus quartz charged up, which requires a charger, which looks like it's going to be very, very easy. Should just be able to grab some iron and a couple things of copper and get that going. But we also need to get that deployer, which is going to be much harder, and I do not like all of the sounds in that room because it just sounds like popcorn popping all the time. So we have our charger. We can stick right there, and that gets us our charged Certus quartz, which we're going to need more of. But we need nether quartz and redstone dust, which fortunately we have. So we need to throw all those into water, and that should get us our fluix dust. So need to toss that. There we go. Fluix dust. So now we just need to get a fluix seed, which we just need sand. And apparently the server is getting a cup of tea. Good to know. But before we go take care of that, let's get our depot here and electron tube. Oh, we can do that easily. We should have some rose quartz still sitting around. I used it all, didn't I? All right. I'm going to go find our materials and then I'll be right back. All right, so I should now have everything needed. We've got some fluix seeds growing up in there so that we can not only get the budding fluix, which will make this whole process easier, but also the one that we need for this. So now we need to put that on there. And now we need to figure out how this thing works. So I think, do we just toss it on top like with the other machines? No. No, that just swaps the item. No. We have to put this somewhere in here. Do we just apply it to the machine itself somehow? Maybe on top? No idea. Let's look up how this thing works. Okay. So, we apparently need to come down here. And apparently this is actually a very bad way of putting this. Come on. There we go. Now we've got one of our presses that we are going to need. So let's take that out. Wait, we actually need that still in there so we can use it in the press. All right. So now if we do that, no. Silicon on there. Silicon press on the front of this. There we go. That gets us our printed silicon. Now we just need to do the same thing with a diamond to get our printed diamond press. So there we go. Swap that out for the diamond. Now we grab that, put that down, and that gets us our printed engineering circuit. Now for this, silicon onto here. So we do that, and then we do that, and then we do that. So that gets us our whole engineering circuit set up. So all we're missing is a couple things of iron and for our crystals to grow up. So I'm going to let those things grow and then I'll be back. All right, and with all of our fluix crystals grown up, we can now finally craft our entropy manipulator. If everything will go through, it needs some power, it looks like. And we can also get ourselves a metallurgic infuser. Now we need this to create our reinforced alloys and elite control circuits. I'm not too concerned about those. They're just iron and diamonds. But we also need to make our combiner here, which requires a steel casing. And, well, we need the metallurgic infuser to get steel. So hopefully we can get that going. And we also need, oh, that was actually really quick, to get our igneous extruder here functioning. Now, for that, we need ice, which let's do this away from the wall. And now that's just going to cause a mess. Okay, great. And just like that, we now have a very dark room. And we have two things of packed ice, which means that we can go and get ourselves the blast chiller and automate all of this because that'll just make it so much easier to get ice in the future. We apparently still need to actually collect up the water, but that we can fairly easily do here, because apparently it doesn't take that many buckets. So if we want steady source of water, we're gonna have to get that automated, which we can do that later. It's not that important to do right now. Mostly we just need a bunch of ice. Actually, these 3 pieces here should actually be enough. Because if I'm reading things correctly, we should be able to toss one of these into the water here. That'll turn it into packed ice. And then if we toss that into the water again, that'll turn it into blue ice. There we go, packed ice. And now we just wait for that. So apparently I misread, and we just need to make 9 packed ice anyway. So that gets us our blue ice. We'll dodge past the slime. Ow, go away, slime. Really need to figure out a way to stop them spawning. But I think if we put this in... I have no idea how this thing works. It's got an adjacent lava source. You know, at the rate this is going, we might as well just do this. Just make a basalt generator. It's a lot faster. Ow! Rude slime. Anyway, now that that is taken care of, we can now get stuff for making our combiner, which is pretty much we need to toss some coal in there and make some steel. So I'm going to go get the stuff that we need for that, wait for that to process up. We need to turn this into enriched iron before we can turn it into steel, and it looks like I'm going to need more coal. So I'm going to go take care of that, and then I'll be right back. All right, and there we go. We now should have everything we need for our combiner here. So we just need to get our steel casing, get that in, and there we go. Now we're just going to stick this over here because this is all torn up so I can get some water to our blast chiller. But this, if we stick that in there, that should get us our ancient debris. Now we just need the rest of the stuff. So for our laser drills, we need pistons and a simple machine frame, which means we need this dissolution chamber, which is not going to be too difficult. We're going to need to go grab some gold though, and I think we need another bucket. Yep. All right, that grabbed, we can just grab that out, and I guess we'll stick that there. We do need a bucket of latex, which might be hard because we just went and set this up so it goes right into the latex processing unit. So we need the wrench. Yeah. That will slowly fill up. We'll get a bucket in there for when that's ready. And that'll also get us another 10 tiny dry rubber, because we are going to need a lot of plastic for all of this. Looks like we need 2 for every laser drill, and we need 4 of those. We need 2 for the base, which is going to be the main issue of getting stuff. And we need 2 for every one of these simple machine frames, and we need 5 of those. So, let's start by getting our simple machine frames here that we're going to need. So let's get 5 of our gears into the machine, and apparently we can only put 1 in at a time. So that's going to be fun. And now all we're missing is the pity machine frame, which is very simple. We just need wood and iron and redstone. So let's get out 5, actually let's get out 6 of those because we're going to need the mob slaughter factory. So there we go, 1 set of pity machine frames that we can use to make up a bunch of things. We'll get one of those in our dissolution chamber, just so that is all set. Our ancient debris is all ready. And now we just need to get everything else. So now we need nether bricks, which is just tossing our clay balls here into the fire to be furnace, and then into the soul fire to be haunted. And now that we have, I think, just about everything except the plastic, we should be able to get started on the last piece that we're going to need for all this, which is the pink slime. And for that, we need a mob slaughter factory, which I believe we do have everything for. So for this, we're going to need a bit of a mob farm, because we need to, well, slaughter mobs in front of it. What if our slimes will work? We get plenty of slimes from that room. I have no idea if they'll work, though. Let's find out here. One slime. And you know what? It'd probably be easier just to get some sort of passive mob to go in front of there. Let's see. What do we have? We should have some extra chickens. We're never going to use. Okay, apparently we've got some actual good stuff in there. And of course, we've got all of these chickens that we are never going to need. All right, let's see if we can get chickens to work for this. I think they should. In retrospect, we should probably keep them contained. Okay, pesky chickens contained. And there we go. We've actually almost got all of the pink slime we need. Where's that other green chicken? All right, and we now have everything we need to fully do this. And we do actually need to get our latex bucket into there. So we need to make 5 of these, which means we're going to need a lot more latex. But this is just going to slowly trickle through, and eventually we'll have everything we need. Now for our laser drill, I've already gone and gathered up everything. We've got it sitting in our box here, and I think that should be just about everything. We just need to figure out a space for this and how to power it. So while this goes and processes up, oh, hey, we've already got one done. So as I was saying, as we go and process up the rest of these, I will go and dig out a space for this. All right, so we now have 4 of them. I know we only have 3 here, but we've already set up the machine here. All we need to do is put in our diamond gear, and that will get us our advanced machine frame. Now, our little room for our aura laser here is right down the hall. I've got this whole space set up already. All it needs is for us to put in our chicken power system. If I can, there we go. So that'll start producing some diamonds, which will go into our lapidary dynamos, if I have this set up properly. It looks like it's going to prioritize one of them over the other. All right, that's fine. That's why we have 2 of them. Those are just going to keep producing until those are fully backed up, because this is going to take quite a bit of power. So any amount that we can use to back this up, we probably are going to need some more chickens in there. No, know what? I put them in the chest. 1 minute. All right, so now with that fully powered up for both of these, we can now put in our last pipe there and cover that up with stone, because if I remember correctly, apparently we can't get out. If I remember correctly, the actual laser base doesn't need any power, but the actual lasers will. So we've got our lasers here. We'll put our base right in the center there, and hopefully that'll do quite nicely for getting us a few extra bits of ore without having to worry about anything. So just need to empty that of pink slime, because we really don't need any more. And now, with our latex in, we can get our final bit of materials. So while that crafts, let's get 3 of our laser drills there, and our ore laser base. I forgot how loud that chapter complete sound is. Anyway, let's get our last one here. So now if I figured this out correctly, we just need to go put this in our room here. So we'll stick our base in the middle, and we'll aim our lasers at it. Okay, so apparently they face the same way that we're facing. That's good to know. I wasn't quite sure about that, so let's get that properly in. Get that one in, and we can already see it kind of starting to work. That one looks like it's going the wrong way. So let's get a little farther back and put that one there. So if we fix this one, the main reason we have 4 of these is because that way it goes the fastest it can. It looks like it's barely keeping up with it for power, so that's good. But now we can filter our laser by the lenses that we can put in here. Several that we could do, but for that, we need to figure out which ores we want to get. We could get nickel from this, niter. We could even get some ancient debris, but I think we have to be in the nether for that. Coal, fluorite. None of these we really need right now. Uranium would probably actually be good, but that looks like it's also only in the nether. But there's multiple different ores that we could get. We already got some redstone ore, which is really nice. So I'm going to let this run. It looks like it's barely keeping up. Don't think this needs any power. It doesn't look like it. We're getting some raw tin, and I think that'll work quite nicely. If we need more power, we can always add more dynamos. And otherwise, we've got a pretty steady supply of ores coming in now. Not that our chickens over there weren't producing enough already, but I think with that is going to be it for today. I need to head back down that tunnel. We really need to figure out a better means of getting to and from our main base. I've got my eyes on this teleportation system. I use this on Stoneblock too, so it's pretty nice, but we're going to need to do a little bit of work with some stuff. Nothing here is really going to be too difficult. The hardest thing is going to be our refined obsidian, but we should be able to get that pretty easily. So I think that for now, that's going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.